This week marked International Cat Day, a perfect time to celebrate the many cats that Saturday morning cartoons have given us to love and enjoy over the years. Furry, fat, and funny. But today we're paying tribute to one extra fine feline, the 3-time Academy Award winner and true all-star, Sylvester the Cat. The most versatile character in the Looney Tunes universe, and also one of the most adaptable and multi-talented cats in all of cartoondom. Only Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, and Porky Pig appeared in more cartoons during the Golden Age than Sylvester. Yet his 3 Academy Award-winning cartoons are the most for any starring a Looney Tunes character. Sylvester has also been paired up with more Looney Tunes characters than any other, has died and come back more times than any of the other characters, while his versatility has seen him appear as both the villain and the hero in over 100 adventures. Today we're looking back at the development, the history, and the legacy of the one and only Sylvester Pussycat. Sylvester the Cat, or to give him his full name, Sylvester J. Pussycat Sr., is a black and white, male, American tuxedo cat. Sylvester's name is a pun on Felis sylvestris, the scientific name for the wild cat, the ancestor of domestic cats. Sylvester, like Daffy Duck, speaks with a sloppy, exaggerated lisp. Up until 1988, Sylvester had been voiced by Mel Blanc, the man of 1,000 voices, who in 1943, 2 years before the cartoon Cat's debut, voiced a character named Sylvester on the Judy Canova show, using the voice that would eventually become associated with the cat.
Oh, hello, Sylvester. What you want?
Well, a messenger just bicycled up with a message. And it's for you, Miss Judy.
Thanks, Sylvester.
Sylvester was not named until Porky Pig gave him the name Sylvester, which was first used in the 1948 Merry Melody short, Scaredy Cat. Sylvester was called Thomas in his first appearance with Tweety in Tweety Pie, most likely as a reference to a male cat being called a Tom. However, this name was quickly dropped as MGM already had a cat named Thomas. Sylvester appeared for the very first time in the 1945 Merry Melody short, Life with Feathers, directed by Friz Freleng, in which he played the role of a nameless cat who tries to avoid eating a bird that actually wants to be eaten. The short was nominated for an Academy Award, and Sylvester's first words ever spoken,
Sufferin, Succotash,
quickly became his catchphrase. Sylvester's potential was recognized by several Warner Brothers directors who moved quickly to use him in a number of different contexts. These early directors included Friz Freleng, Bob Clampett, Robert McKinson, and Chuck Jones, all of whom enjoyed pairing Sylvester with a variety of different characters in his next cartoons after his debut. In Sylvester's second cartoon, Pack Up Your Troubles, Friz Freleng introduced Sylvester's long-term arch-nemesis, Hector the Bulldog. And his next cartoon, Kitty Cornered, was the only short of his to be directed by Bob Clampett, but was the first to pair him with Porky Pig, which would begin a long collaboration between the two. Chuck Jones later featured the pair in 3 horror-themed cartoons, in which the two parodied Abbott and Costello. Sylvester played a vastly different role compared to before. In these shorts, Sylvester was Porky's pet, a scaredy cat who never spoke and who was the only one of the two who was aware of the dangers surrounding them and who protected an oblivious Porky from these threats, oftentimes saving the day. In his fourth cartoon, Sylvester was paired with his most famous partner, Tweety Bird, in the 1947 short Tweety Pie, directed by Friz Freleng. Sylvester and Tweety became one of the most well-known pairings in Looney Tunes, and 2 of their cartoons would go on to win the Academy Award for Best Animated Short Film, the first being Tweety Pie, which was not only the first Academy Award won by a Merry Melodies Looney Tunes cartoon, but was also the first Academy Award for Warner Brothers Studio. Sylvester and Tweety's second win came 10 years later for the short Birds Anonymous, also directed by Friz Freleng, and in between those wins, Freleng had Sylvester star in another Academy Award-winning short, starring a Looney Tunes debutant, Speedy Gonzales, in the 1955 short Speedy Gonzales, in which Sylvester unsuccessfully tries to prevent Speedy from stealing cheese from a factory which the cat is supposed to be guarding. Sylvester's fifth cartoon, Crowing Pains was the first of many of his shorts to be directed by Robert McKinson, who paired him in this short with Foghorn Leghorn, Barnyard Dog, and Henry Hawk. Sylvester became a favorite character for McKinson to use and was depicted as Looney Tunes' answer to Tom Cat. And the director introduced a number of new characters to the Looney Tunes universe, which he paired up with Sylvester, including a young kangaroo named Hippity Hopper, as well as a young son for Sylvester to mentor, Sylvester Jr., who made his debut in the 1950 short Pop and Pop. Sylvester Jr. is a miniature version of his father without his dad's trademark lisp. Sylvester Jr. often showed pride and admiration for his father, which was quickly replaced with shame and humiliation at the sight of his father's numerous blunders. Sylvester Jr.'s mother would appear once in the 1960 short Goldie Mouse and the Three Cats, a rare occasion in which the entire Pussycat family are seen together, while we did see Sylvester's wife previously in the 1953 short A Mouse Divided, in which a drunk and exhausted stork mistakenly brings them a baby mouse, which the couple adopt. 1950 was the year in which Granny appeared for the first time in the short Canary Row, and she and Hector the bulldog would go on to form a sort of family for Sylvester and Tweety to be a part of for decades to come. Sylvester would appear in 103 cartoons during the golden age of American animation, lagging only behind superstars Bugs Bunny, Porky Pig, and Daffy Duck, and his final appearance in this period came as a cameo in 1957 in McKinson's A Taste of Catnip opposite Daffy Duck. Sylvester would go on to appear in various Warner Brothers television specials, feature films, and compilations. The last time Mel Blanc would voice the character would be for his cameo appearance in the 1988 blockbuster Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But in the following years, wherever the cast of Looney Tunes appeared, Sylvester would be there, including big screen feature films, Looney Tunes reboots, and even cameos in other shows. From 1979 to 1983, Sylvester was the spokescat for 9 Lives line of dry cat food. His face appeared on the product's boxes, and Sylvester was also featured in a series of television commercials. In the 1990s, Sylvester made several cameo appearances in Tiny Toon Adventures, as a teacher at Acme University, and also as a mentor for Furball. Before Sylvester, Tweety, Granny, and Hector were all revived for their own spin-off series, Sylvester and Tweety Mysteries, which debuted in 1995 and featured the characters solving mysteries around the world, with Sylvester still trying to eat Tweety in the meantime, while Hector acted as the bird's bodyguard. In the series finale, Sylvester finally abandons his desire of eating Tweety and expresses his love for the little bird. The story of Sylvester is also the story of the Warner Brothers directors who used him, which, thanks to his all-rounded adaptability, meant he was partnered with an assortment of characters. Sylvester's role in the early Looney Tunes shorts depended on which other character he was paired with and which director used him, and his versatility meant that he not only played any role that required a cartoon cat, but has also been both the villain and the hero, and his roles have ranged from a cowardly bully to a sympathetic hunter, an incompetent mouse catcher, or bird catcher, or roadrunner catcher, the terrified Costello to Porky's oblivious abbot, a Grand Duke, a Pied Piper, even an addict. He also played different kinds of villains and antagonists, but was also an unsung hero at times who saved many a day. This video is a tribute to Sylvester, but is dedicated to cats everywhere, animated or otherwise. So, don't forget to hug your cat today, but before you do that, remember to like this video if you learned something, share this video with your cat-loving friends, and let us know down in the comments which was your favorite Sylvester cartoon and which other cartoon cats you would love to have seen him pair up with. I'll be back soon with another video in time for International Dog Day. So until then, thank you for watching and stay tuned for more cartoon history.